for an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being with us today. Let me begin by acknowledging the seriousness of today's hearing topic. Combating anti-Semitism, like all forms of hatred and bigotry, must be a moral and civic priority. But I'd be remiss if I did not point out that this is our 9th hearing on anti-Semitism in 18 months. Also note that since this committee's first anti-Semitism hearing in December 2023, we've not held a single hearing addressing racism, xenophobia, sexism, Islamophobia, or other challenges affecting other student groups on American college campuses. And I've witnessed this committee's silence on the administration's wholesale attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility, DEI initiatives designed to make campuses more welcoming to all groups. And if we're seriously to address anti-Semitism and other forms of hate on college campuses, the process we could best use would be the vigorous enforcement of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, enforced by the Office of Civil Rights in the Department of Education. Yet this committee majority has said nothing about the wholesale firings attacking the Office of Civil Rights. And while the committee is engaged in holding its 9th hearing on anti-Semitism, critical issues affecting public education in this country and viability of institutions of higher education institutions have been ignored. For example, in the last 6 months, our administration has taken harmful steps in the area of education. Specifically, nearly 50% of the department's workforce have been proposed to be fired, thus threatening the key role of department plays in keeping our nation's schools running and our students access to safe, welcoming environments. And yesterday, the Supreme Court majority green-lighted this fatal blow by permitting the department to proceed with this planned firing of employees responsible for managing student loans, collecting data and student learning trends, and relevant to this hearing, enforcing the civil rights protections of students. And yesterday evening, President Trump announced on a social media platform that based on the Supreme Court decision that Secretary of Education should proceed with the dismantling of the Department of Education. And we're seeing the impact on this action. The department is requiring many of those with student loans to change to another loan program, but those students are unable to do it because of inadequate staff at the Department of Education. That's before more people are being fired. Now, the area this committee has not held a hearing on is the impact of stripping critical federal funding on the integrity of higher education institutions and their contributions to science, medicine, and global competition. This committee has also not examined how the recent enacted reconciliation law, or as Democrats call it, the big ugly bill, will impact student loan borrowers. This law will raise costs for students seeking higher education by forcing student loan borrowers into unaffordable repayment plans, eliminating resources to help struggling borrowers, pushing students into predatory private loan market by eliminating Graduate Plus loans, capping Parent Plus loans, and limiting Pell Grant access. Further, the law exposes students to predatory for-profit institutions by stopping the implementation of the 2023 Borrower Defense Regulation, which provides student loan relief for millions of borrowers defrauded by their schools, or the 2023 Closed School Discharge Regulation, which provides student loan relief for students whose institutions closed before they were able to complete their programs. Also on July 1st, with little warning and no justification, this administration announced it was pausing nearly $7 billion in education programs that the administration initially proposed to eliminate in next year's fiscal 2026 budget. Again, we have had no hearings to examine the effect of the threat of loss of funding on the following programs. On Title IIA programs, supporting effective instruction, grant programs which support professional development and other activities to improve the effectiveness of teachers, school leaders, including reducing class sizes. 3A program, English language acquisition, which supports language instruction to help English language learners become proficient in English. the Student Support Academic Enrichment Grants, Title IV-A program, which provide flexible funding for school districts for a wide range of activities, including supporting STEM education, accelerating learning courses, college and career counseling, school-based mental health services, and improving school technology, among others. And another Title IV program, Title IV-B, the 21st Community Learning Centers, which support high-quality before and after-school programs focused on providing academic enrichment opportunities for students. The Title I-C program, Migrant Education, which supports educational needs of migratory students, including children of migrant and seasonal farm workers, and the Adult Basic Literacy Education State Grants, including Integrated English Literacy and Civics Education State Grants, which support adult education and literacy programs to provide basic skills to help prepare adults and out-of-school youth for success in the workforce. All of these programs are at risk of the abrupt loss in funding. In response, a number of the state attorneys general have filed an emergency lawsuit just yesterday. However, cash-strapped school districts, particularly those in low-income and rural areas, cannot afford the delay in funding and will likely be forced to either lay off staff or cut back programs and services. And we should be having hearings hearings to support and strengthen our learning institutions. We should be insisting that the Department of Education not abdicate its responsibility to ensure that all students are afforded safe, quality, and equitable education, regardless of their race, gender, immigration status, socioeconomic status, religion, or disability status. When we should call on the officials from the Office of Civil Rights at the Department of Education to testify and ensure that they are implementing their longstanding duties to investigate, monitor, and provide resources to victims of potential civil rights violations, and that they are enforcing the laws that fight anti-Semitism. So, Mr. Chairman, as we conduct our 9th hearing on this issue, I urge you to also focus some of your attention to those who have the responsibility to protect students from hate and discrimination, the Office of Civil Rights, or whatever is left of it, and the pressing issues facing colleges and students today. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time.
I thank the gentleman. Pursuant to committee